Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back to our class. Again, this is Teacher Tina, and for today we will continue our topic decimals. But this time we will focus on adding and subtracting decimal numbers. All right. So adding means plus and subtracting means minus. Right. In this lesson, we will be able to add and subtract decimal numbers. Now, you will also be able to make calculations using number facts. What are number facts? We will discuss it one later. And we will be able to check calculations using the inverse. Okay, so if you know how to check your calculation using the inverse, then that will make you um, feel more confident with your answers. Okay, so the keywords that we'll be using in this lesson, first here is number facts. What is a number fact? It is a simple or basic calculations with two numbers. Example here is 5 plus 2 equals 7. Actually, this is very simple, yeah, but we can use this number facts in calculating bigger numbers. What if we use this 5 plus 2 equals 7 into a 10 times greater number? So since we will multiply this 10 times, we make this number 10 times greater, then that means we will multiply this into 10. So we'll simply add 1 0 to each of these digits. So that will be 50 plus 20 plus 50 plus 20 equals 70. So remember the number fact that we have is 5 plus 2 equals 70, right? So even if we tried it with a 10 times bigger number, still the same fact, but we just add zeros. How about we use 100 times greater than 5 plus 20 equals 7? We just multiplied it with 100, so that means we add two zeros. So 5 will become 500 plus 200 equals 700. Still the same. How about if it's less than 10 times lesser? So we divide it with 10, so 5 becomes 0.5 or 5 tenths plus 2 tenths equals 7 tenths. The same facts, right? So knowing the number facts could help us to calculate numbers easier. Okay, so the next word is calculate. What is calculate again? It means to use math to determine an answer. That means when you say calculate, that means we either use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay, that's to find an answer. That means to calculate whatever whatever method you use to calculate the answer. So that's example here, 5 plus 5.5 equals 11.5. So we use addition in this calculation. So next keyword is inverse. What is inverse? Inverse means the opposite of another operation. This method can be used to check an answer. Like for example, 10 minus 3 equals 7. Yeah. But what is the inverse of this operation? What is the inverse or the opposite of minus? The opposite of minus is plus, right? So that means we use plus to determine if our answer is correct. How are you going to do that? So since plus, when we add our difference or the answer and the subtrahend, then that gets our minuend. Okay, so let's try. If we add the 7 and 3, 7 plus 3 equals 10. So that shows that our answer is correct because 7 plus 3 is 10. If our answer here is 6, let's say 6, and we try to check our answer using the inverse. 6 plus 3 equals 9, right? So that means since our answer 9 is different from the minuend over here, then that means our answer is wrong. So that's how we use inverse in checking our answer. So remember, when we say inverse, that means we use the opposite operation. What is the opposite of minus, of subtraction? It's addition. What is the opposite of multiplication, it's division. So they are the inverse operations. So let's try another one. Okay, 25 minus 5 equals 20. So remember, when you're um, looking for the minuend, when we look for the minuend, we will add the subtrahend and your answer and the difference. We add this equals the minuend. But when the subtrahend is missing, let's say you're going to subtrahend or the difference is the missing numbers, then you have to subtract it from the minuend because in this operation, the minuend is the greatest number. So to find the smaller number, then you have to minus. But when you're looking for the greatest number, then you have to add the small ones. So that means add the subtrahend and the difference equals the minuend. All right. So in here, let's try to inverse this operation. The opposite of minus is plus. And so let's try 20 plus 5, or you can change it, interchange it, 5 plus 20. The answer is still the same, equals 25. So that shows that our answer is correct. Okay, so that's how to use inverse operation in checking answer. So let's try the last one example. 34 plus 5 equals 39. Are you sure with your answer? Let's try. Since this is plus, the opposite operation of plus is minus, right? So what are we going to minus? We will minus our answer, 39 minus 5 equals 34. Okay, so that means our answer is correct. But even if you minus here 39 minus 34, the answer is 5. Okay, any of these two numbers here, either any of these two addend, you minus from the 39, you get the same um, either of these two given dividends. I mean, addends. All right, so that shows in here your answer is correct. Now find the missing numbers. 12 plus 15 is easy. Okay, just add 10 plus 10, 20, 5 plus 2, 7. So 27. Okay, let's write our answer. 27. Okay, so 12 plus blank equals 27. How are you going to find the answer here? As I've said, if you're looking for an addend, both of these numbers over here, they are addends. Okay, if you're looking, this is for addition, huh? If you're looking for an addends, you minus 27 minus 12. So 27 minus 12. You get the answer? That's 15. Okay, you see? They're the same. So let's try another one. Okay, another addends is missing. As I've said, either of these two addends is missing. You subtract the given addend to the answer. So 27 minus 15, 27 minus 15, because these are the given, then that we get the answer here, and it's 12. So our answer here is 12. So you see, that's how we use inverse. Okay, to find the missing numbers, missing addends, missing subtrahend, missing minuend, we just add or plus, use the opposite. Okay. So let's try another one. 20 minus 5 equals, obviously, it's easy, 15, right? Now 15 is the answer. Remember, this is minus, not plus. So 20 minus blank equals 15. So when you you subtract 15 from 20, then you will get your subtrahend. So let's see. If you will add this, 20 plus 15, the answer is 35. Then if your answer here is 35, 20 minus 35 equals 15. Then that's wrong. We're looking for a smaller number, so we cannot add. We will subtract. Okay, so 20 minus 15 equals 5. So another, we're looking for the minuend. As I've said, the minuend is the greatest number in subtraction. So if we're looking for the minuend, always plus or always add the, the subtrahend and your sum, the answer. So 15 plus 5 equals 15 plus 5 equals 20. Okay, just think if you minus 15 minus 5, then that's 10. 10 minus 5 equals 15. It's wrong. Okay, just remember when you're looking for the minuend, you plus the other two numbers, two given numbers. But if you're looking for the subtrahend or the difference, then you minus. Okay? Now let's try if you can do this as quickly as you can. Okay, are you ready? That's so easy. 55 minus 15 equals, plus 15 equals 5 plus 10, 50 plus 10, 60. 5 plus 5, 10. So 60 plus 10 equals 70. Okay. You can actually do this mentally, or if you're a little bit confused or not confident to do it, then you can use paper and a pen. Okay. As long as you know what to do, you know what operation to use to get your answer, then that's totally fine. Either mentally or you use a paper and pen, then that's fine. Okay, let's try. Oops, I should not answer. Okay, I'm not going to answer here because um, it will take us more time. Okay, 40 plus blank equals 50. Remember, 50 is the greatest number here, so that means you will minus. Okay, so 50 minus 40 equals 10. But without doing the inverse, it's pretty obvious what is missing. 40 plus what equals 50? It's 10. Okay, how about this? What do you add to 5 to get 20? 15, yeah? 15 plus 5 equals 20. Or if you use the inverse, you minus 20 minus 5 equals 15. Okay, just think about this. If you're looking for a greater number, then you add. But if you're looking for a lesser number, then you minus. Okay, we're looking for a lesser number here because 20 should be the greatest. So we will minus 20 minus 5 is 15. How about this? We're looking for a smaller number, right? So we minus 100 minus 60 equals 40. How about here? 99 minus blank equals 90. 90 should be the greatest. I mean, the smallest. 99 should be the greatest because this is the minuend. So if you minus 90 from 99, then you will get the subtrahend. So 99 minus 90 equals 9. So if your answer here is 9, 99 minus 9 equals 90. So think about it. Minuend should always be the greatest. Minuend is the greatest number in subtraction. Okay, this is the minuend. It's where we subtract, and the number being subtracted is the subtrahend, and the answer is the difference. I hope you know this already because you have been learning that since grade 1, the parts of subtraction. So I'm hoping that you know that already. So the minuend here should be the greatest number. So we cannot add, we should minus. Okay, how about this? We're looking for the minuend. As I've said, minuend is the greatest number. So we add 70 plus 30 equals 100. So let's see. 100 minus 30 equals 70. Correct. Okay, good job. Okay, just this is the trick. If you're looking for a greater number, you plus, you add. But if you're looking for a smaller number, are expecting for a smaller number, then you subtract. Okay? And in subtraction, minuend should be the greatest number. So if you're looking for the minuend, always subtract. But if you're not looking for the minuend, I mean, you add if you're looking for the minuend. But if you're looking for the subtrahend or the difference, you minus. All right. What are the number facts? They are simple or basic calculations with two numbers. Okay, I've showed you a little insight of number facts a while ago. So here we will discuss more on that. So 8 plus 2 equals 10, right? This is the number fact. Simplest. Now we can make calculations 10 times greater or 100 times greater or 1,000 times greater or 10 times lesser, 100 times lesser or 1,000 times lesser. So using this number facts, that will help us to find the answer easily even without thinking. Okay, just do it mentally. Okay, but just remember, when you are looking for a greater, 10 times greater, then that means you have to multiply. But if you're calculating for a 10 times lesser, then you have to divide. Okay, so let's try here. 8 plus 2 equals 10, right? Let's make a calculation 10 times larger. That means we will multiply because 10 times larger. That means we will multiply 8 by 10, 2 times 10, and 10 times 10. So let's see, 8 times 10 equals 80, 2 times 10 equals 20, and 10 times 10 equals 100. So you see here, 80 plus 20 equals 100. Okay, even without calculating, solving like this, we can easily find the answer by just adding 0. Because if a number is multiplied to 10, then you just add 1 0. 10 has 1 0, so you add 1 0. So instead of doing 8 times 10 equals 80, 2 times 10 equals 20, 10 times 10 equals 100, you can just simply add 1 0 to all of this. Then that's the answer. 80 plus 20 equals 100. That's what we got. Now let's try another one. Let's make a calculation 100 times larger. Okay, so as I've said, you don't have to multiply this to 100 because it's 100 times larger. So you don't have to say to calculate 8 times 100, 2 times 100, 10 times 100. You can just simply add 2 zeros, okay? Because 8 times 100 is 800, right? So you just simply add 2 zeros in here. 2 zeros and 2 zeros. So that's the answer. Let's see if our answer is correct. 1,000. 800 plus 200 equals 1,000. Is it correct? Let's check. 8 times 100 is 800. Correct. 2 times 100 is 200. Correct. 10 times 100 is 1,000. Correct. So we got it right. Now let's try another sample. Let's make a calculation 1,000 times larger. So that means we will add how many zeros here? 1,000 has 3 zeros. So 8 times 1,000 is 8,000, right? So let's add 3 zeros here, 3 zeros here, and 3 zeros here. Actually, without writing, we can just solve this mentally. Okay, so if we calculate this, 8 plus 2 equals 10, 1,000 times greater. So you just imagine 10 and then add 3 zeros, then that's 10,000. Yeah, so let's try. Yeah, it's 8,000 plus 2,000 equals 10,000. Let's check if our answer is correct. 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000, and 10 times 1,000 equals 10,000. So it's easy, right? So let's try make a calculation 10 times smaller. Now here, smaller, that means we will divide to 10. How are you going to divide 8 divided by 10? We discussed this one already. 8 divided by 10. 2 divided by 10. And 10 divided by 10. So, did you remember what is 8 divided by 10 is? It's 8 tenths, right? And how are you going to write 8 tenths in number? It's 0.8 because tenths has one, is the first digit after the decimal. How about 2? 0.2. 2 divided by 10 or 2 tenths. And then 10 divided by 10, obviously it's 1. Any number you divide to itself, the answer is 1. 20 divided by 20 is 1. 60 divided by 60 is 1. 25 divided by 25 is 1. Any number you multiply to itself is 1. So let's try to see here if our answer is correct. So yeah, 0.8 plus 0.2 or 8 tenths plus 2 tenths equals 1. Okay, if the number after the decimal point is 0, you can just simply erase that. So that's just 1. Okay, so here's the trick. You don't have to divide. As what we did a while ago with the multiplication, we don't have to multiply. We just add the zeros, right? In this case, we don't have to divide. We just count how many digits from the right. Example, this is a whole number 8, so the decimal point, imagine it's on the right, right? Not on the left. Okay, for the whole number, then the decimal point is always on the right. So if you divide this into 10, then that means you move the one digit to the left one place. So the digit here, the decimal here is placed now on the left side of 8. Now we do the same with 2. Imagine the decimal point is on the right side of a whole number. Then since it's 10 times smaller, then you move one place to the left. So that's 0.2. As I've said, you have to put 0 before the decimal. That's why we have here 0.8 and 0.2. How about the 10? The decimal is over here, right? Now divided by 10, that means we move one place to the right, to the left. So the decimal point is between 1 and 0. So that's how we get this, right? So even if we check our answer here, 8 divided by 10, 2 divided by 10, 10 divided by 10, we got the same answer. Okay, let's try another one to make this all more clear. Okay, let's try 10 times smaller. Okay, remember here, 10 times is already hundreds. I mean 100 times, it's hundreds. So we will move the decimal 2 places. Okay, imagine the decimal is over here, right? Now we will move 2 places, 1 and 2. But since there's no more number here, then we put an imaginary 0 and then the decimal point. And remember, we cannot start with the decimal point. We should always write 0 before the decimal point. Okay, we do the same with 2. Imagine moving it 2 times because it's 100 times smaller. So since that's one digit only, then we'll add 1 0 in there. Okay? Then how about for 10? Okay, imaginary decimal is here. We count 1, 2. So the decimal point is before 1 and you write 0. All right, so let's see if we got correct answer. So see, 0.08 or 8 hundredths plus 2 hundredths equals 10 hundredths. So that's how we get the answer without dividing. Okay, just move the decimals. All right, so that's how we check our answers. So let's try 1,000 times smaller. Okay, smaller. So that means we will divide again. But we don't have to divide. We'll just move the decimals, as I said. Okay, you can do it mentally, actually. So since it's thousands, you should have 3 digits. 1, 2, 3, and then decimal points. So there should be 2 zeros here to have 3 digits, to get 3 digits. So it's 0.008. 0.008. The same with 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.002. And for 10, 1, 2, 3. So since 10 already got 2 digits, we'll just add one more digit here. And then 0 before the decimal point. So let's see. All right, so that's it. We move 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We move the decimal place 3 times to the left. Okay, that's how to divide to the left. Okay, so even if you check your answer this way, you'll get the same answer. As I've said, for decimals, if the last digit is 0, you can simply erase that. Okay, so that is 1 thousandths. Okay. So let's try another example. 15 plus 13 equals 28. Let's calculate 10 times larger. As I've said, 10 times larger, you don't have to multiply, you just add 1 0. So 150, 130, 280. Yeah, is it correct? Yes, correct. Let's try another one. 100 times larger. So it's 100, so there should be 2 zeros. We will add 2 more zeros here, 2 more zeros here, and 2 more zeros here. So that becomes 1,500 plus 1,300 equals 2,800. Correct. Let's see. Yes, you get the same answer. That's how useful number fact is. Okay. Now let's try 10 times smaller. All right. 10 times smaller, as I've said, we will divide by 10. But we don't need to divide here. We'll just move the decimal point to the left. Okay, since it's 10 times smaller, then we'll just move it one time. Tenths. Remember, after the whole number, the decimal point is here on the right. So we'll just move here, and move here. So it's 1.5 plus 1.3 equals 2.8. All right. We get it? All right. See? Okay. Let's make 100 times smaller. So since there are already 2 digits in there, so we don't have to, that means we don't have to add 0 because there are 2 digits already. So 1, 2, decimal point. 1, 2, decimal point. 1, 2, decimal point. Okay, and then add 0 before the decimal point. So that's what we got here. Okay, 1500s plus 1300s equals 2800s. Correct. See? If you want to check your answer, you can do calculations like this. Try to divide and get to see if your answer is correct. All right. Now let's make calculation 1,000 times smaller. So when we say 1,000 times smaller, there should have 3 digits after the decimal point. Since we only have 2 digits here, that means we have to add one more digit, and that is 0. That means we have to add one more 0, and then the decimal point. See? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then put the decimal point, and the 0. Let's see. 15 thousandths plus 13 thousandths equals 28 thousandths. All right. Easy, right? Okay, last one. Let's try to make this 1,000 times larger. That means you multiply to 1,000. So we will add 3 zeros. because thousands got 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. So 15,000 plus 13,000 equals 28,000. All right. Easy. Identify the number of facts used in these calculations. Okay. So let's see if you'll be able to identify the number of facts in this lesson. I mean in this. Oops, what happened? Okay, let's try if you'll be able to identify the number of facts used in these calculations. So here are the given. 60 plus 40 equals 100. 600 plus 400 equals 1000. And 600 plus 400 equals 10 hundredths or 1 hundredths. 6,000 plus 4,000 equals 10 thousandths. Can you identify the number facts being used? It's 6 plus 4. How did you get this? Okay. The technique here is you find the number with zeros, you remove the same number of zeros. So let's say here you remove 2 zeros, you remove 2 zeros, you remove 2 zeros. Don't remove 3 zeros here. You remove 2 zeros. So that means the number of facts being used is 6, 4, and 10. Okay, so 6 plus 4 is 10. So if you look at the other numbers, you see 6 plus 4 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. So that's the number of facts being used in this calculation. Let's try another one. Okay, here. Can you identify what is the number of facts being used here? As I've said, you remove the same number of zeros, so you will know 1 0, 1 0, 1 0. Remove 2 zeros here, remove 2 zeros here, remove 2 zeros here. Okay, this will be easier with the whole numbers. Okay, but if with decimals, you can move the decimals. Move the decimal one place, move the decimal one place, move the decimal one place. So if you can see, it's all 14 minus 3 equals 11. 14 minus 3 equals 11. 14 minus 3 equals 11. You see, that's the number fact being used here. 14 minus 3 equals 11. So let's try another one. Oops. Okay, so as I've said, if it's a decimal number, you move the decimal points the same number. Okay, like here, let's try to move the decimal place 1 times. So here you move also 1 time. So that's 78 plus 22. Now let's see with the other calculations if we still get the same. So remove 1 0 here, remove 1 0 here. 78 plus 22, correct? The same. How about here? We move the decimal points 2 times. 1, 2. 1, 2. So we get 78 plus 22. The same, right? Now here we have 2 zeros, remove 2 zeros. We have here, in this case, it's already minus. So since we have here 200, got 2 0 here, then we will remove 2 zeros here. So let's try 78 plus 2 and plus 22 equals, what's your answer? According here, it's 100. Is it correct? Yes, 78 plus 22 equals 100. Why is this 100? You see, this one is an inverse. Okay, we did the inverse. All right, so let's try the last one. Oh, this is the same. Okay, so steps in adding and subtracting decimal numbers. The first one is line up decimal points vertically. You line up the decimal points. The step 2, add 0 to the blanks or empty slots. 3, bring down the decimal point. And step 4, begin adding or subtracting, start in the lowest place. Okay, these steps is the same, um, useful to both the adding and subtracting. Okay, so let's try 2.34 or 2 and 34 hundredths plus 4 and 259 thousandths. Let's try to um, add this. First step is line up the decimal points vertically. So here the vertical point, we'll line up the decimal points like this. And then step 2, add 0 to the blanks or empty slots. Okay, it's here, 0. And then step 3, bring down the decimal point. The decimal point, let's bring it down here. And step 4, begin adding or subtracting, start in the lowest place. Which is the lowest place? Remember, this place on the left side is the whole numbers, right? And whole numbers is greater than the decimals. So that means we will start from the left side. I mean, from the right side. So 0 plus 9 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then 2 plus 4 is 7. So that's how we get the answer. Okay, just follow the steps. Let's try another one. 3.7 and 8.564. Let's try this. Line up vertically. That's how we line them up according to their decimal points. And then step 2, add 0 to the blanks or empty slots. Okay, you see there are blanks here, so we'll add 0 in there. Okay, so there's no more empty slots. Bring down the decimal point, bring down the decimal point, and then begin adding starting from the lowest place. It's from the right. So 0 plus 4 is 4, 0 plus 6 is 6, 7 plus 5 is 12. Now we cannot write 12 here. We'll just write 2 and then carry 1 above the next place. So 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 8 is 12. So that's the answer. Is it right? Remember, if your answer is more than 10, you have to write only the tenths, the ones place. The tens place should be carried up. Okay, let's try another one. Line up decimal points vertically. Okay, that's how we line them up. Remember, this is a whole number and whole number's decimal point is on the right. But if there's no more number after the decimal point, then we can just remove the decimal point. So that's just 63. So for whole numbers, remember the decimal point is on the right side after the ones place. Okay, so step 2, add 0 on the blanks or empty slots. So we have empty slots here. So we'll add 3 zeros in there. And actually, even if you don't put 0 here, that will be fine. But just to fill in the blanks, then we'll add 0. Never mind. Okay, step 3, bring down the decimal point. We have got the decimal point there and begin adding 3 plus 0, 3, 7 plus 0, 7, 2 plus 0, 2, 4 plus 3 is 7, and then 0 plus 6 is 6. So that's the answer. Now let's try subtraction. Same steps. First, we will line up the decimal points, I mean. So that's how we place them. And then step 2, add zeros. We got one space here, so we'll write 0 there. Step 3, bring down the decimal point. And then step 4, begin subtracting. Okay, so 0 minus 5. 0 is smaller. We cannot subtract 5 from 0. So we'll borrow from 9 to the next place, 9. 9 will become 8 now because we will borrow 10. Okay, this is tens place, right? So we will borrow 10 from 9. So this 0 here will become 10. Okay, because we borrowed 10. So 9 will become 8. The value of that is 80, right? But since this is in a number, so that's just 8. And then 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 3 is 5. 6 minus 4 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's how we got the answer. Okay? So that's all for today here, and I hope that you understand. See you again next time to our next lesson. Bye.